hit
Pretty
the
sure you already clicked it.
Yeah, I did. It's a new
We're on-
setup and everything was broken, but maybe it's working now. I think it's working now.
Let's see. I'm testing it.
Hi, hello. You got 0 viewers, which means you lied to me.
No, I can hear. What do you mean?
You looked me in the eye and you lied
I'm
to
staring.
me.
Well, it might just be like on your page.
Yeah. Well, you know. Anyways, hey.
Oh, I have a little Dragon Quest slime. That makes me so happy.
And when you talk, it moves, just like me. And I have a little chocobo man. You know? Yeah.
All right, I need to turn the audio off of hearing.
The echo is like the worst. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like real cursed.
Like, I just
welcome
heard 3
everybody. It's
seconds of the
Cryptic Puzzle.
past.
Today we're talking about Nier Automata. Wait a minute.
No.
Hold on.
Almost.
Let me check my notes.
You mean?
Hold on.
yeah. It's
we're talking about budget Nier Automata.
We're talking about the one that everybody compared to Nier Automata, and then I went, why do they compare it to Nier Automata? It seems like I see. It's that game.
Look, it's not that people compared it to Nier Automata. It's that the developers of Stellar Blade compared it to Nier Automata.
That's true.
All right, so welcome. So Tommy's gonna do like a new game plus, I guess.
I beat the game, so I'm gonna play it again, I guess.
My name's Andy.
Yeah, I'm Tommy, and we
When-
played Cryptic Puzzle.
When did you beat this game? When did you beat it?
A couple weeks ago. I think it was like very end of March.
Oh, you beat it a while ago.
Yeah. Well, and then Easter happened and blah 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 and some other stuff and yada yada yada. So.
Yeah, you know what? I do remember talking to you vaguely about the ending. Now that you mention that.
Yeah, we talked about the ending because we did. As it turns out, there's multiple endings to this game. Whoa, it's crazy. I picked the same one that you did. So
yeah, which
we
maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves, but
this is the beginning, not the end. So
yeah. It looks like the end of civilization, though. Look at all this nonsense happening.
I gotta say, I playing the demo when they initially released that, seeing this opening sequence, I was like, okay, so I do kind of understand the Nier comparison, but also, look at this, it's sick.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
It looks amazing, which is remarkable because, and maybe this is a good place to start, but you and I both at some point, like maybe years ago, played the demo for this game. At least I did. And I'm very glad. I played the demo on PlayStation, and you saw somewhere and rightfully pointed out that for whatever reason, the demo on PlayStation just feels horrible. Like it's not programmed to play like the actual game.
Yeah, I can't verify the actual numbers on it or what it was, but there was additional input lag that I don't know if it was intentional or not. That was like an additional like 200 milliseconds or something. So every single parry, dodge, all of it, everything felt like molasses. It was terrible. So I remember playing it, thinking that, and putting down the game like, wow, I can't believe people were excited for this. Because that feels awful. And then I didn't think about it until you played the Steam demo, like obviously earlier this year, and you were like, this game feels awesome. I was like, what are you talking about?
So that's, I guess for me, like I remember when this game came out, and I remember like being interested because it looked really polished and cool, and I saw a lot of mixed stuff. I would say generally I saw some reviews that were like, this game is like fun, like maybe like pretty fun or really fun, but like the world and the characters are not that compelling, and like a lot of people just kind of calling this game mediocre. And you know, I had tried the demo at the time, and I was kind of happy to chalk it up to being mostly mediocre. But like, you know, there's a couple, I've heard a couple dissenting voices. Probably the one I think of the most often is Daryl Talks Games. Like in a good handful of his videos, he's like, yo, Stellar Blade absolutely slaps. So after hearing enough of those people, and then you saying the demo on PlayStation was wrong, and I tried the Steam demo, I was like, all right, I'm all in. I'm ready to like give it a 100% chance, you know, give it a shot.
Oh, what's really funny is I have my hair cosmetics and stuff on, but not the but it's putting me in the standard outfit. Yeah. So I'm wearing A2's hair from Nier Automata because I paid real American dollars for it. So I'm
Oh
gonna
my
wear
god.
it. Can I change my?
I love how, look, not to spoil the episode or anything, but I'm the one who like, I'm like the one who loves this game and is gonna glaze it, and you're the one who's like less positive on it, and you're the one who's like, yeah, I spent much more real money on this game than Andy did.
Well, not much more. It was on whatever sale it was, and it wasn't that much more the pack thing, the DLC stuff. So I was like, oh, well, whatever, sure, I'll just do it.
I see you still have your combat sense.
But yeah,
All right, Tommy,
this is
tell
Stellar Blade.
people,
It's an
tell
action
people,
game.
yeah, tell people about what this game is if they've never played it or never heard anything about it.
This is a game made by Shifta, the same people that made the mobile/gacha. I think it's a mobile game. Maybe it's on other stuff too.
That was close.
Goddess of Victory Nikkei. Oh wow,
Come here.
that was really funny. So yeah, I just clipped right through that in the cutscene. That was awesome. So they were like, we're gonna make an action game, and then they showed trailers for this. It was like, wow. So Nikkei's whole shtick is kind of you're there to shoot stuff from behind cover, and there's gonna be a lot of
Suggestive
recoil
content.
and physical movement. All right, hold on. I'm gonna make one tweak here because I think it's impacting the stream. Cap my frame rate a little bit. Tell me if that looks better. So
It does look better, but it looked good before. But go on.
yeah. So it was like, all right. So the jiggle people are gonna make an action game, and then you see a whole bunch of ladies all over. You go, okay, well, I think I know what this is.
There's more of them.
But as it turns out, it's a pretty solid, pretty complicated, I would say, in a lot of ways. And it's got a parry and a dodge and combos and some special abilities and a devil trigger move. And all those things are things that I like. So
Let's get out of here
fundamentally,
before more of them show up.
it's like, all right, I should give it a try. You know, like let's see what it's about, because I'm always down for an action game, and it kind of looked very. I'll say it looked more like a video game to me than a lot of other games did, despite the big cinematic opening. Like this still seems like I'm playing an action game.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I also was like texting you, telling you how I had given it a shot, and I really super loved it. So like that was the other piece of it.
Yeah. You inspired me to retry the demo, which does this section initially.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I immediately had to like, oh, I remember this parry and all the dodge and everything feeling absolutely awful before.
Yeah, way worse.
And then it's like the very first time I hit the parry, playing the demo, I was like, oh,
This isn't looking
oh,
good.
this is literally
Let's
a
go.
different game now. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. And then once a sale hit,
Is that?
I bought it. You had already, I think you had already like
Let's join
basically
them.
beaten it by the time I even got my hands on it. So.
Yeah,
Maybe you did beat it. I think you literally did beat it.
I
but
think
yeah.
so.
So yeah. Then I was like, all right. Let me give this.
Yeah,
this
so-
a go. So. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's cool. You know, it's sort of a, you know, it's a bit similar to a game like Nier is a good comparison point, but I think it's a little bit closer to like the over the shoulder Sony first party thing a little bit. Like it's a bit of a like story driven game that it's sort of open world, but it brings you through a lot of levels from point A to point B, like a God of War or something. But I don't know. I personally think it's done a lot better. I think it's more well done than a lot of those style of games, and maybe that's just because it's short and it's not trying to like be an all-consuming open world with a million things to do. Like it's pretty short, and the focus in the game is fighting awesome aliens, and that part just rules. I think.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You and I
haven't
disagree
completed
on
our
this
mission.
game in a bunch of specific ways.
Now it's just
Now
up to us
that
to see
said,
this
I do
mission
want
through.
to cap off all of the
Understand?
things that I will say that are not eminently positive about this game. I do still enjoy this. I think it's a good game. It's more than just a purely competent action game. It's a pretty good action game for the most part, but it is tuned for someone who's not me.
Yeah.
I know I have very specific preferences for what I like in my action games and everything. And not every single, a huge number of the decisions where it would be like, all right, well, a game could either do it this way or it could do it this way. All of the ones where it would be like my preference versus how they did it, they don't agree a lot. And that's fine. The game, they didn't make the game for me. But again, I just want to preference. Wow,
They made it for me. Clearly.
yeah, they made it for Andy because Andy's like, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I'm like,
Game slapped.
yeah, I ultimately, if it were, I would tell people to play this game. Again, trying to cap this off on top, I would tell people to play this game, but it would not be my personal first recommendations for action games. I would pick other things, and we can get into the whys more on that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think for me, I think the combat feels really exceptional. I love the combat, and I love the variety of systems that give you like a lot of choice. But I think probably the thing that stands out about this game that I think everybody can sort of universally agree on because it's objective is that the parry system is like way more forgiving than most games of this style, at least in like the window that they give you. And I think maybe that's, I mean, I don't think I really realized that until afterwards, like reading and seeing reviews and stuff. But I think that's like a huge part of why I gravitate towards this game because the combat feels great, the parry feels great, but like to me, it feels readable and reactable in a way that like jives with me. Where like a lot, I don't know, it's funny because I love parry systems in games, but most of the games I play that have a parry system just turn me off at some point because it's like too small of a window or it's way too unforgiving or whatever, you know?
Yeah, and I think there's like parrying has become popular and like decidedly like this game was influenced by Sekiro, like every action game that has come out after it type of thing, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's really sort of I think I'm with you on like a good feeling parry is genuinely one of my favorite mechanics that you can have in a video game. So seeing that a lot of people are going for it is cool, but I think there is a lot to be said in the it's kind of like with Souls likes, there's so many people trying to do like a thing that's sort of like a Souls game, but they kind of just do the same things that a Souls game does without understanding why or how to connect those things. And there's a lot of games that I think do that with the parry system. Like, we have a parry. It's like, okay, what else you got? They're
Yeah.
like, we got a
dodge roll.
and you can technically attack the enemies. I'm like, okay.
You're
like,
invincible also while you roll for a second.
yeah, it's like, okay, right, but why? Like, what are you doing with that? They're like, you can't. It's like, okay, so this is a tech demo. Got it. Okay, like there's a lot of stuff that's like that.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But like, I think this one does it pulls together I think some semblance of a combat system. There are some aspects of it that I myself, I don't want to say I don't understand. I can't balance how much of it is I think it should just be designed differently, even for what it was they were trying to do, and how much of it is my preference personally type of thing,
Yeah.
So I'm curious. We've talked about this a little bit off the podcast, but not a ton. I think we had like one conversation about this after I beat the game. So we'll explore probably some stuff, and I'll figure some things out about what I do and don't like about this live on the air. So yeah.
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 Yeah, it's great. I think it's a great game. I think the setting looks beautiful and there's like some stuff that's left to be desired for sure, but like I don't know. I personally never felt like I was playing a Nier ripoff, even though it's clearly inspired by Nier. I heard a lot of discourse about that with this game in particular, but I do feel like the world is unique. I think a lot of the settings are really cool to explore and like they're different. I don't feel like I'm playing, oh, this is like the desert part from Nier, but it's just like worse. Like every part of this game does feel handcrafted and beautiful to me.
Oh, okay, I completely disagree with the last thing you said about how that
Wow.
doesn't just feel like the desert from Nier, but worse.
Wha-
It's actually exactly how I feel
Wow.
about the desert.
Wow, that's
Like
funny.
to the letter. We didn't
Wow.
even get there yet. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think the only reason there is a desert is because Nier had a desert.
I mean, I don't know. Super Mario has deserts too. We
Yeah,
can't just be like, oh,
but,
because it
but
has a
this game's
desert.
not trying to be Super Mario. Yeah,
I don't know. You
Here's-
can jump and double
So here's another
jump.
here's another piece I think that's also I've said this multiple times and I really truly think that you're not really factoring this piece in, at least for why I feel the way that I do about this, is because I've just played a lot more things that are trying to be like, this isn't really a AAA game, but it's definitely trying to pull from that, and it's trying to pull from a lot of popular things to appeal to a lot of people, because again, it was a gacha team that made this game, and they
Sure.
did a pretty good job. But I see the pieces of all the other things that
There's
make
a
this
chest.
game.
There's a chest down in that little lake over there.
Oh, okay. I'm
Gotta
playing
go
for the
get them.
podcast though, so
You gotta go get the chest while we
don't,
talk.
I definitely don't have to.
There's a Legion camp in a place like this.
Gotta get the chest, dude.
You
Okay,
told
I'm
me to
sorry,
do
I
all the side
interrupted you.
content, and I didn't even pick the ending I needed to do it for.
I didn't say all of it. I
didn't-
said you
I
should
didn't
do
all
some of it.
but I did do a bunch of it.
I didn't do all of it either, I don't
Yeah,
think.
Yeah, I just didn't do the ones that was like, take a picture of a cat. Uh-oh, game crash.
Oh yeah.
No,
I
it
did I definitely didn't do take a picture of a cat. For
That was
sure.
a horrifying pause on that cutscene. I don't know if that was
Yeah.
my computer or the game.
I
Might be the
don't
computer.
think it was the game.
Yeah, I think it was my computer. Well, nothing's been working right. Everybody, uninstall Windows from your computer. That's my
Okay.
recommendation.
All right, so I interrupted you so you can get the chest, which you said you're still gonna do, by the way. But
No, definitely. Also, did you see my pod is also from Nier?
oh, he is. All right, so it's pulling from AAA games, but something else you were gonna say.
Yeah, so I see like I'll do this, and I'll do this, and I'll do this, and I'll do this. So I see the parts that it is, where you, I think, are trying to more earnestly look at it as like a what it is type of thing, which from a critique standpoint is a better way of looking at things, like genuinely. But like I came right off of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for like 100+ hours right before this too. So AAA-esque fatigue was really super heavy for me.
I still maintain that that's your fault, not the game's fault.
No, it is. You're right, but I also think that it gives me still another lens to look at this through, and also that's paired with my personal tastes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think for me personally, a lot of I also, I mean, it's funny because I have way less of a tolerance, I think, for like AAA stuff than you do in general. But I don't know. I think the biggest reason I didn't feel fatigued in this game is because like just about any side quest or exploration that you're going to do in this game gives you something worthwhile. It's not like you got 1/100th of a whatever. It's like, I mean, this game does have heart pieces like Zelda, which is like just a great collectible. It's like, find 4 of them, you get more health. It's like, great. What incentive could I need to explore the world better than that? So I think that's a huge part of it. But B, I won't say all of the side content is great, because a lot of it is just like, go fight this guy or whatever. But there are some good ones that stand out as unique to me, and also the game just isn't that long. Like, even if you did every single thing in this game, it's probably like 20 hours.
It's a little bit more than that. But
It's a high energy compression.
There are definitely some
Next to
side
that,
quests that are in
Earth's
there
ride
that
isn't
I would
dark
argue
yet.
should just be part of the main quest
It's
because
the
it
previous
like
generation of
shows
the
you
Infinity
like,
Cell.
hey, maybe this was
Be sure to keep
a
that.
unique boss.
It's
There's
very
also
powerful.
some refights that are in there too, but those fights are fun enough where like I don't care that there's some boss refights in there.
Yeah.
But
Are there refights? Where's a refight? I don't remember.
there's a bunch of the side quests end in this big Natiba you fought before. You're just gonna fight him again.
Oh yeah, there's like one.
There's a whole bunch of those.
It's a trap.
There's actually like 2 in the first desert, isn't there? I can think of 2 in the first desert that are boss fights. I don't know if they're reffights.
Yeah. Oh, but just across the side quests. There's some unique ones I think. Like I assume that I probably, because I didn't do the side quests, I probably missed like at least one if I'm guessing. But
Yeah.
but there's definitely some where I was like, oh, I definitely fought Gygus before, or Brood, or whatever it was. You know, like they just kind
Yeah.
of have like the generic name of whatever it is that just describes their. I don't know, however they
Yeah.
decided to mention, but yeah. So, I guess I wish that was more integrated into the main game kind of thing. I guess that's what my personal preference would be, because I don't know. Again, I just came off of like one of the most checklisty open world games I've ever played and probably ever will play. And it's weird because the parts of the game that don't even flirt with the idea of doing that, I'm like, yeah, this is good. Like right now, I'm running through areas, there's enemies, I'm fighting them. We can talk more about how I would tune the combat differently to my personal taste, but I don't think it makes the combat bad or feel bad or anything like that. I would just do it different, you know? But like, when it's like you go there, I guess a bunch of the side quests, like you think very fondly of them, and as soon as I did it, I was like, I just ran to that area to go grab it for it to teleport me back to the guy, and then he gave me like 5,000 gold. And I have like 35,000 gold that I never spent gold. So that was my reaction to the side quests every time. So I was really kind of confused as to how you were like, it's always worth it. Like, no, it never.
But I mean,
worth
I don't
it,
know.
like, at all.
Here's the thing though, I never felt like I had enough gold to just buy everything I wanted in the game outright. So like to me, I was like,
I always
5,000
had,
more
like,
gold.
30,000 extra gold on me, like at all times, and I bought like WB pumps at every possible opportunity too.
Did
So,
you? I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I think part of that too is I appreciate that, like, I actually feel like the way you can like buy stuff at your little camp, I feel like that's such a great system too, because it's like it does offer a way to make the game more forgiving if it's challenging to you. But gold isn't, I mean, I don't know, again, maybe your experience was different than mine, but to me, like, gold wasn't so plentiful until maybe the very end of the game that I felt like, well, let me just buy 25 healing things and now it's not a problem. I did feel like, well, I'm gonna maybe buy 3 or 4, and that's like a smart way to spend my gold. Like, I don't have just an infinite supply. So maybe it's just me, but I felt like the economy of the game in that way, like the resources you find from exploring and doing the side content, like, to me, I always felt like, great, I'm glad I did that, and not, oh, hey, here's the 10th quest that gave me 200,000 gold, and now I have more than I'll ever need. But that was me.
I'm pretty sure if I were to list out the rewards for the quest, like, it is objectively the second one. I guess that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, because there's a lot. Like, there's a lot of them.
Can't reach the
I missed
ladder.
my jump.
The water level is too
I don't
low.
know. There's heart pieces and things to collect, and
Yeah,
money
whoa.
and clothes. People like the clothes.
Yeah, people like the clothes.
I'm gonna say
that's more for people who are specifically not you and me. One of the first things you said to me about this game before I bought it, and I thought it was funny just because of how overt it was. I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna feel like that." You were like, "I gotta put some pants on." You're like,
Yes.
"I really got, like, as soon as I can, I gotta put some pants on her." And then I started playing the game, and I was like, I gotta put some pants on this girl as soon as I can, because like I just can't, like, even the skin tight thing was like a little much in my opinion. And I'm glad I did, because later on, I mean, one, there are some wildly skimpy, whatever it is, if you're into that, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Not for me. I'm not.
It's-
Into, if it's your thing, great, good for you. This game is for you, trust me. But it's not for
Here's-
me. You know. So,
Here's what I'll say about the clothes.
We have to go through
Is
this
I
Try
was
putting the
I
fusion
was
cells down
surprised
here.
to feel like the clothes were a good reward for me personally. Even if I didn't wear all of them, I was like, well, at least it was a unique, like, handcrafted reward, and it is like, if you want to just do that as a collectible, it is a worthwhile collectible. But I will say, playing this game with my wife around was a bit eye-opening to me, because I would get a new outfit or something, and she'd be like, put the new outfit on, I want to see it. And she'd be like, oh, dude, that is hot as hell, that outfit. And so, like, I think there is a level of, like, I have to think that there's a lot of ladies out there who like action games that are like, all right, this is cool. Like, there was one outfit with, it's the one where she's wearing like light blue jeans. And I remember my wife just being like, oh, I would absolutely wear that and I would slay. Like, she was like,
yeah. There's a couple. I mean, this is one of the. It's closer to one of the more normal outfits, which is why I put this one on.
yeah, I'm with
There's
you.
a
That's like
a
pretty,
handful of them. Yeah, but.
yeah.
I
So,
did
yeah,
also
I-
have A2's outfit, and by the time I got to the end of the game, I got past the point of no return where I could not buy 2s. I was gonna, but unfortunately, you have to find Emil in the desert, and it's a by chance thing. And you have to shoot him to stop him from driving around super fast, and then you talk to him. Yeah, that's how it works. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
get there. I don't know if we'll get there.
Yeah, I don't even know how much I want to talk about this part. I mean, I don't know. Just for me personally, like the clothes stuff, I can 1,000,000% do without it. Like if they just were like, she's wearing a normal, cool outfit, I would be like, fine. I don't know. I feel that way about Nier Automata a little bit though too. One of my favorite games ever is. I'm like, I would do okay if they just put pants on 2B. That's just me, you know.
I mean, yeah, me too personally. We will talk more about the game that names the podcast soon-ish. Finally, for real, I think.
Tetris Effect.
Yes, that's where we got the name from. The Cryptic puzzle, Tetris Effect connected. That's specifically connected.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, it's in the credits somewhere.
So yeah, I don't know, whatever. I think I would be happier without it, but I don't think it was all 100% tasteless, which surprised me. And I was also the one guy, I told you this, and I know it's like a ridiculous hill to die on, but I was like the one guy that didn't buy this game because it came out, partially because of the like male gaze stuff. Like I was like, if it didn't have that, I would have been more compelled to buy the game. And you were like, that's not how Earth works, Andy.
Yeah, no, that's not how most people work, because this game did sell pretty well, and it definitely has a whole bunch to do with the TNA that was involved in the design and the marketing. Like, for sure. It's literally what their entire business model is for their other
Looks
game.
like this used to
So,
be a
like,
library.
you know, it's...
These boxes
That's fine.
fit
It
on
is
the
what it
wall
is.
storage
I'm with you
devices.
on, like, that's
Yeah,
not the appeal. I
that's
guess
unfortunate.
for me, it's like the, like...
They can only store
All
up to
right.
1 megabyte of data.
I know that that's just kind of
What a
what's going to
waste
come
of
along with a
resources.
bunch of the stuff. But if there's other good here, then I'm fine with that. I mean, we will also, I think, get a little bit more into I think a good comparison point in both my preferences and also the how do you portray a lady who you are clearly supposed to be attracted to in a different way.
Crack is quite
in
deep. It's
Bayonetta.
going to be difficult to pass.
Because I think Bayonetta rules both as a game, but also as a character who's supposed to be a
We'll have
hot
to
lady.
go across, past the
She
parking
rules too.
tower.
So, but yeah, I think the thing that's weird
Yeah.
in this game about it is that it's clear that there's no purpose other than the male gaze part of it. I will say that no part of Eve's figure or anyone's attraction to her at any point comes up in this game ever.
I mean, yeah,
not even one time. So
I thought it was, and maybe I'm like overreading, but I thought there was like a piece of lore that I read or like a piece of dialogue that sort of alluded to the whole end of humanity and like humans turning into androids thing. I thought there was a piece of it that it was like the reason that she looks like ridiculously attractive is because they're supposed to be like quote unquote like perfect specimens of humanity or like ideal versions of humanity. Is that wrong? Did I make that up somewhere?
You're probably right. If I
it
did
tastes
read
like
that, I
this.
forgot.
Supply
That
Even then,
that
it's a
makes sense.
flimsy
That
it's a flimsy
yeah.
justification,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
here's the thing. On the flip side, with the near comparison thing there,
Looks like it's been abandoned for a long
it does
time.
come up
How
in
come
the
they set up a
story,
camp in a
at least for
corner like
one
this?
reason. But also,
the supply camp
simultaneously,
also
Yoko
serves as an
Taro
important
said
base.
when someone was like, "Hey, why
Is this
why do the
parking
robots
lot important?
look like that and have big butts?" And he said,
It could also
"It's because I
mean
like
this
when they
place
look
is
like
very
that and they
dangerous.
have big butts." So I put them in my games.
yeah, right. Again,
which
pretty-
which honestly, that for me is just like, you know what? That's the honest answer. If you can give me the honest answer, if that's all it's for, I'm cool with that. It doesn't have to
I
be for
mean-
me, you know?
I guess if choice A is the director likes it like that, and choice B is like we did it to sell copies, it's like I guess I prefer that the director just did it the way he wanted to do it,
About yesterday.
but it's still
Thank you
feel
for
I don't
saving
know.
me.
Yeah, it's yeah, I don't know.
You know?
I'm still with you on like I just kind of am not like really ever like this should be at the forefront of my conversation
nothing
on this
really.
at all, you know? But
Though I have
yeah,
used
And yet
up
we've
almost
talked
all of the
about it for like
exospine
15
materials
minutes
that
yeah.
I've
now.
Well, but that's right. I mean, that's also part of the point of it, though, right? It's inescapable, right?
But
So
now
Yeah, and I think part of it is maybe my own maybe not insecurity isn't the right word, but like I would hate for my wife to walk in and see me play this
we can
game
track
and
down
like
the
think
Alpha
I'm
Antiva together.
think I'm
Yeah,
like
well,
gross and like
might
it
have trouble
genuinely
making
is
it
he
not.
grabs the remote and he just changes it to porn instead.
Yeah, it's like
because that would just be better.
Yeah,
Listen,
Oh
don't
no!
worry.
Oh god!
yeah,
Oh,
it's
jeez.
genuinely not like why I'm playing the game, and I think that's maybe why I feel like the need. Yeah. Oh, gee.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Jesus.
And that's also part of why it's just like.
so yeah,
that's
anyway-
also not why I played Bayonetta. You know, so
Right. Yeah, so it's cool game. Tommy's about to upgrade he's about to increase his attack. Tell me
My
that's not a
sword.
good that's a great thing to find is I'm gonna find a weapon core that's gonna increase my attack. Doesn't
Oh.
that make your brain say endorphins?
yeah. Here's the thing. I wish it. It's so funny. The one time I thought it was a great example of you get the thing and it gives you like a notable number upgrade every time you get one. But now because I'm in New Game Plus, I'm getting tiny little incremental ones.
Yeah,
this is literally like a 1% upgrade.
Yeah, but I think the point is they were like, hey, there's still upgrades for you to get in New Game
Yes,
Plus.
yeah. Now, so yeah, to give credit to the game, normally on your first pass through the game, the weapon upgrade, like weapon core upgrades that give you more damage, they are notable. And by the time you get 2 or 3 of them, you're like, oh my god, I'm hitting so much harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. Like,
Bro, there's a side quest that gives you a double jump. I don't even want to hear your complaints. I'm
I
done
don't
with
think
your
that's a
complaints.
side quest.
Oh, it super is, isn't it?
I don't think it's a side quest.
I'm gonna look it up.
I'm pretty sure it's not a side quest in the same way that getting the second exospine thing is not a side quest. Literally just one day is like, I did a thing for you. Hello.
Let's Google. Is it
Thanks, Lily.
mandatory to get the
I could be
double
wrong.
jump in?
It felt kind of mandatory to me though.
No, I feel like
Could very much be wrong. But you know.
I guess. Oh, look at this. So there are 2 ways to unlock the double jump ability. So I guess what I did is optional, but the game does maybe force you to do it if you don't do that side quest that I did. That's interesting.
I was gonna say, because like some of the later platforming challenges, I'm like, man, if you didn't have a double jump, like, I don't even know how you do some of it. So,
Oh, so they do. Yeah, I guess.
you know what I
I
mean?
guess. Yeah, there's 2 side quests that will give you the double jump. But if you're progressing with the story, you will receive it automatically. Interesting.
So I don't know which of those I did then actually, because like I said, I felt like it was, pretty unavoidable, but also like I was doing side quests. I just don't know if I did that specific one by that point, you know. So
I think this boss is the one that I played that I was like, yes, this game absolutely rules. I'm 1000%
This
here
one,
for
if I
it.
remember it, the demo takes you from the intro section to another one where you fight this guy.
What does?
I think the demo originally had like a, hey, you can also do another
Yeah.
fight against a thing, and it's this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So I just realized I'm double triggering,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna undouble trigger. Attacking this. So this is what I realized there is an actual piece of need gameplay altering content. I learned this morning. Because
Okay.
I don't know if it will let me. Drone appearance unlocked. Wow. I can't change equipment during combat. Never mind. I'm not even do that out.
Okay.
Anyway, I guess we can talk about the combat stuff now.
Look at all the cool things. Let me just say first, it's so cool that like even really far into the game, you're getting like new abilities that change your abilities in combat and give you more to do, which I think is so cool. Like I love that every time you know, made a big progression to be like, and here's a new ability that's awesome.
I almost forgot there was I almost forget there's a QTE button at the end of every boss fight, like
Yeah.
every time.
And I like that there's only one. They don't make you do it like 5 times.
Yep. Yeah, I agree, because then it's a little bit less frustrating, because if you miss it once, that's on you. If you miss it twice, first one's like, all right, sure, you got me. Second one is definitely that's on me, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I knew it was coming. If I miss it a second time, yeah.
Things will only get
But
harder.
anyway.
Yeah. So you get what's kind of interesting about this game is you start and you do have like your beta abilities, which are like you've got like a super slash and you've got a stab that breaks your enemy's shield, and you have like 4 initially, and you build up your little beta energy when you do your normal slashes, which is a cool system. I think what's kind of neat about this game is those systems feel like pretty ancillary at the beginning. They feel like bonuses, and by the end, you really have to be using them all very intentionally and in a smart way, I think, to like really take down the bosses, which I think is cool. It ramps the difficulty up in a way that is fun.
Yeah,
That's
I guess I didn't feel like you have to, but like they definitely are pretty strong by the time you upgrade them, and you can definitely like that was part of the way that that boss that I was talking about before. That I'm gonna put on her outfit for right now. Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Oh, it's A2.
This one. Then I gotta put on the hair. Alright. I also gave her an eye patch. She doesn't normally have an eye patch, guys. I just thought it was funny to give her an eye patch.
This is an optional boss fight, lady?
Yeah, so this was Scarlet, the Nikke character's outfit. And now I'll have to go and get in some more fights in a little bit. But there is a gameplay reason that I put this on, not just...
Oh, you getting like an ability with it?
Yeah, it changes what happens when you go to Tacky mode. Actually.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. So
Nice.
so yeah. As you were saying before, so if you look, I guess in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, now that I'm on a fight, it's easier to explain. Or the UI. So there's the 7 with the like little beaker thing and the pips. That's basically your Estus flask healing system that refills when I sit down. Items are on the down arrow. Where it says BU, there is basically a different special meter with those red pips. The beta attacks that Andy was talking about before are the BE with the blue pips. So I think I already forgot what the other ones. Beta attacks and... Let's go to the skills menu. I forgot. Beta... Burst.
Burst,
I was like,
yes.
BU. What's BU for? Oh my god, yeah, burst. And burst attacks. Burst attacks, I think you build up that meter by doing like perfect dodges and stuff. And then there's other ways you unlock as you go through your skill tree as well. But beta attacks, like you said, through like regular attacks and also new ways of building up that meter that you unlock through the skill tree, let you cash out these different moves that have usually like armor break, or this one's a ranged move kind of. And I like the ranged blade beam attack one, and then the judgment cut end thing that I did. Those are my favorites.
Yeah, I really like the one that I really found using a lot towards the end of the game is there's a burst. I think it's a burst one and not a beta that like downs the enemy, so you can like get off a bunch of damage and lower your enemy's shield, and like right before they're about to go in and start swinging at you, you can down them and get in a lot more energy. So that, and maybe I'm thinking more of like New Game Plus when it was a little bit even more difficult at the very last couple bosses, but I did feel like I had to really manage everything that I have at my disposal in a smart way. But I think maybe part of it too, what I really love about the combat is there's a great balance between like the player's agency, but also reacting what the boss can do, because the bosses can have a variety of like attacks that are completely unblockable and unparryable. And then you also have like your cool like beta dodge where you have to dodge forward and you like blink behind the enemy. I think that is so cool. I love it.
Yeah, I like those. Basically, they end up kind of being rock paper scissors type moments, right? This thing happens and you have this specific counter for doing it, right? Which is, I think is cool.
Yeah.
Now that said, that's normally not how I like my action game combat to work, and that's
and there's like a
that's a me personally thing.
And there's a backwards one too, right? Like
Yes.
there's one where if you dodge forward, it's like the blink, and then there's the purple one where if you dodge backwards, you'll also react, which I don't know. I like that because I like the blink already, and it's like now you have to pay attention even more to if
I was hoping, I forget, I was
you go the other direction. So
that.
I don't know. It's a good balance though. It's not all.
Yeah.
It's not all like you have to learn the parry, like, and that's what I like too, is you don't have to learn the parries to be successful in this game, but you're incentivized to, right? If you just want a perfect dodge the whole game and stuff, you can. And you don't have to be perfect with the blink and the backwards dodge things, but you can. It's like all of it to me is like fun, but it's also like very flexible.
Yeah, here's the thing. I do agree with that. Part of I guess I don't want to say my issues with why I have different preferences in the combat is just because of what I end up focusing on, even though I get those kinds of options in games. But I am with you on it is good, and in general that I think this game does give you. It gives you a lot of options. You can play the game different ways. You don't have to parry. The parry is good, but so is the dodge, and so are all the other moves and everything that you have. So you are equipped to deal with a bunch of different situations, in theory, in different ways, so that you aren't kind of railroaded in. But I guess, so that to me is, I guess, kind of what's a little bit weird about how there are very explicit hard counter rock, paper, scissors moments while also trying to give you that flexibility. Do you know what I mean? Now
Yeah.
that said, you do always have them at your disposal, right? So it's really just more of a tool you have in your toolbox of like, oh, they're going to do that, I can deal with it kind of thing. So maybe it's more of a perspective thing, but I guess it's, again, I'm more of a systems guy rather than it feels closer to context sensitive, like that little QTE at the end of the fight, than if it was just like a mechanic that otherwise happened. But that's, to me, that's how my brain works. That's,
Yeah,
I don't think that's how it trips in your head, like, at all. You know?
No, again, I think there's a balance, right? If the whole game is, and like that's part of the reason that I haven't always jived with a game like Sekiro or as much with, I mean, I like Lies of P too, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it does feel so much when it's like you just have to parry, and that's what the whole game is. To me, that feels like very context sensitive, but like, I don't know, I guess to me, I do like the context sensitive things of like, you have to pay attention and learn what the boss is going to do. I guess it's similar to that way to like any Souls game where like you're just learning the patterns of the boss. To me, that's fun. But you're just rewarded so much when you get that cool blink dodge at the right time, you know?
Oh, you are, and like it feels good when you do it, and like that. I don't know
Yeah.
what you got on the stream, but like the counter hit that you can get after the parry also feels
Oh,
good.
yes.
And that, like, you can see that through the dash. Like, I hit the button, and again, to me, it feels like a little cutscene plays. Like, I know it's real time and it's happening, but that dash and back through feels like a little cutscene plays that if I put the controller down, it would make a difference, rather than me running around swinging my sword, right?
Oh, I can totally understand. I've never felt that way, but now that you say it, I can absolutely see that that could bother someone.
Yeah, so to me, I guess it's again, it's a choice, right? And it does feel good, right, to do it, and it is effective, right? So it's not, oh, I shouldn't do it because it doesn't work good, or oh, I shouldn't do it because it doesn't like have like a good feeling animation and like set of feedback. But it does feel like somebody pulled the controller out of my hand and put it on the table every single time it happens. And
Yeah,
that's what all of those context things feel like to me. And that really is why, like all the things where you're like, well, you know, that didn't bother me and blah, 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 because I really like the combat. All of them are highlighted to me because I have multiple seconds in every fight where I get to sit and think about all the stuff that isn't good right now. Do you know what I mean?
I think to me,
so-
there's two. I think there's two reasons maybe where I differ that it doesn't bother me for you. I think A, it's so short that I don't feel like it's a 10, because there are action games where you like do a thing or you go to burst god mode or whatever, and it's like this 10-second long animation and you just kind of feel like you're waiting. I think A, it's short enough that it to me still feels active, but B, the fact that it is sort of a cutscene in the sense that like it can't be really interrupted, I think in my favor and in the game's favor, it like, because it can't be interrupted, the game is a little bit more forgiving. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and again, that's where like the balance of putting the other pieces together makes sense. Like I did like the stealth kill, right, the ambush thing, and the stealth kills in this game actually feel exactly to me like they do in Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, in that you don't do them all the time. It's definitely not built to be a stealth game. But
you're
do get the
rewarded for
opportunity
paying
to do it, and you're rewarded for it. And the little cutscene moment there that you get is kind of like this other little thing off in the distance, right? It's like, to me, it's like divorced from the combat system because of that. And so I'm fine with that. But the creeping towards, and you know what? It's not even the creeping towards. I actually would prefer if it was a handful of moments with a longer cutscene thing, like at the end of the boss fight. Because that's like oh, I did it, and I got the payoff, and I got the bespoke animation, and blah, blah, blah. The fact that it happens multiple times in combat where somebody pulled the control out of my hand and then put it back in, that's what's weird, right? If it was like once, it'd be like, okay, I guess. At the end.
Yeah.
Right? But it's the like, I'm trying to fight the Jews, you know? That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to highlight. I think again, and yeah, that is interesting. I can see why it would bother you. I don't know. I think for me, I think part of it is again like by getting the correct timing where you get to dash behind the boss and do like the beta dodge. I don't know. I think for me, because the reward is instant, that you hit the timing and the reward is, hey, you did it, you're successful, as opposed to maybe like a Dark Souls or a something where like you feel like you got the right timing, but because the boss is doing something that is uninterruptible, instead of being rewarded, you are punished. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. No, I do see what you're saying. Yeah, it's and again, this is a preferences thing. I honestly, I assume that what I said sounds crazy to a lot of people.
No, it doesn't sound crazy to me.
Yeah. Well, maybe not crazy, but also like, oh, I think. Sorry, let me rephrase it. More like a oh, I don't feel that way at all. But like, oh, I see. You know.
I guess for me, it's a lot of it comes down to like, because you hit the timing, it is a guaranteed reward. which is great in a game that is challenging. Like that's the other thing too, is this game can be challenging. I would say like not super challenging, especially not for most of the game to me, but
No.
it can be tough and it can be punishing. So for me, I just appreciate that little stealth kill that you can do. That can be really valuable in later levels when like there are a lot of enemy ambushes where they're trying to trip you up. For example, right now.
Yeah. Actually, like very specifically, yes. Like once you're in the more open areas and it's like, oh, there's a big dude and a bunch of little dudes, and if I can get the big dude by himself, I can one-tap him without needing to fight him, and then I can just take care of the little guys. So like, yeah, there's also places that they designed like a use for it, right? Where it does behoove you to engage with the system, right? I guess it's very strange to me because like I don't ever want to turn like video games as like probably my favorite overall art form, like that in music, into like just a series of like things that you do the right way. It's really like in the same way that we talk about just like stuff in general, like yeah, I think everything should just have like real intent, right? And I don't always feel either what the intention of the design of the game was, or the intention is, oh, you made a game for someone other than me, and that's fine, right?
Yeah.
So, rather than I don't want to boil this game down to like only its parts, because it's definitely more than just the sum of its parts. Even though I see the parts, I think a little bit more nakedly than you do. It is very well put together. I do like the things that are happening. The music does sound a little bit like, hey, listen to Keiichi Okabe's Nier Automata soundtrack and make some stuff like that. Sometimes, yes. but also, even those ones, like, it's still pretty good, right? It's not the same, but like, I like the music, right? So
it's got good music.
I'm gonna do a lot of qualifying, like, man, just because I'm not saying positive things about this game, like, I do want to make clear, I did enjoy playing it. I am having fun playing it right now, you know. It's just, and I think Tommy would have made a different game. You know, that's the weird, the difference between like critique of what it is and what my personal preference would be, you know.
Yeah.
So.
I will say too, I think a thing that's pretty different between you and me, at least a lot of the time, is I think I'm a little bit better at forgiving certain design choices, or at least like taking them in the context of like the exact game they made, where like you can be a little bit like, well, objectively it's a bad way to make a parry system this way, where for me, I can acknowledge like in general I would not think that this is a good game design choice, but sometimes if I take a game for what it's trying to do, I can forgive that design choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. On the parry thing specifically, I guess we can talk about it, right? There is still, it's not input lag, but actual delay between the time you hit the button and when your active parry frames happen. And that is not how I like my parries. Now, that said, they do feel good, but you do have to more... So, I guess, in conjunction with... the feeling like the controller is being taken out of my hand, but the more context-sensitive thing. This is a much lesser degree of that, in that I don't feel like I have as much ability to react to something because of that delay from input to active frames. So it feels more context-sensitive than if I got my one-frame parry like I do in Sekiro and a lot of other games, you know? And that's a me thing, but I've also been playing games that are designed like that since the 2000s. So like that one's just because I'm wired to play those games that way, and I like them that way. So
see, to me, I never noticed and really never felt like. I mean, there were a lot of times when I would be fighting a boss or something, and I would parry a few of their attacks on the first try, like just.
Oh yeah.
By reacting. So
again,
I personally never felt that.
to be clear, like I said, more context
You need to go
sensitive
there to get to
is
the
like the
transportation
word
device.
more is really loose and kind of doing a lot of heavy lifting there. It's definitely not context sensitive. It isn't, right?
Here's the other thing too. This game, I think maybe rightfully would get some flack for like, you can just spam the parry if you really feel unsure of what's going to happen, and the game will let you get away with that a lot of the time.
Will you? Here's the thing. I've never tried that to like hit a bunch of perfects. Does it really do that?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Oh really? I usually I never
especially
even
in
feel
the later
urge
boss
to spam the parry
bosses
button
when they hit you with like
this.
4 attacks in a row.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
I did it a couple times just kind of out of curiosity, and yeah, you absolutely can, and the game will let you get away with
I see. Okay.
it.
That also makes me go like, all right, well, then why is it this way? You know, again, it's a. I think about it more from the you're like, well, this is the way it is, and this is the context that they were trying to do, and I'm like 2 or 3 layers up in the decision making process of like, but you wanted to do this, you just should have done it this other way up here, and then that changes the 2 or 3 layers down. You know.
Oh, I agree. I
So-
think the game shouldn't. I mean, I don't know. I just didn't play the game that way because to me that's not super fun. I
Yeah,
agree that
honestly,
I probably
I would have slept through this whole game if I was just mashing L1 and it was working the whole time.
Yeah, it's
I
not
would
fun.
I would have been really bummed out if I was just like, oh, that's all you have to do. Cool.
Yeah, right. And you know,
Nice.
for me, I don't think that's a great way to design the parry system or to make the game. I think for me, it's okay to make the parry system that like if you miss the perfect parry, you get hit by the boss. To me, I'm more concerned with how punishing is it if you miss the parry. Like to me, that's the thing that when I play a game like Lies of P or something, it's less about. I mean, it is about
Oh gosh.
how big the window is of the parry and whatever. But to me, it's more about like if you miss the parry, are you going to lose 3/4 of your health? If so, I'm probably not having that much fun. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I guess it's the part that's also like a little bit weird to me is because you do get like a, oh, I didn't get the perfect parry timing, but I was blocking, which still reduces the damage, and it's better than just eating the hit, right? So that to me makes the input delay a little bit more weird, you know, because it makes it feel like they do kind of want you to react if that's the case, but then also remove, like mathematically, timing wise, remove some of your ability to react with the input delay, and that's the part that doesn't make sense to me.
I guess
If
so.
that makes sense. Now that said, to your point, on the flip side of once the parry frames are active, it's a really wide window, like a really wide window.
Yes.
And you
And
could
I think
make it wider, I guess, but like I don't know why you would, because it's already wide enough where like I don't know, you're probably gonna hit it, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing I felt when playing the game is if you asked me to like talk about mathematically what's going on with the parry, is I probably would have told you that it's a wide window, which is true. And
It
to
is,
me
yeah.
is that's more the thing that I felt as a player because I don't care about freaking frame data or program. What am I, a nerd? I don't care.
Yeah, well, I do. I am.
Uh,
I
I just want to play the game,
and I am
do the good feeling
I am
parry.
literally an engineer, and I love that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
So that is, and because I both understand it and I know what my preference is, I think it is both a little bit of I probably know too much about how the sausage is made kind of thing, but at the same
Probably.
time, like even if I didn't know the why, it still feels that way in my hand either way. So I think I just have a couple of ways of I can
Adam,
critique it, I guess, in a way that isn't
was
just I think it
Very
feels
surprised
not
when I first met
right.
Yeah, yeah. I
That's all,
think
you know.
I think if the underlying feeling
We
is
learned that
genuine,
everyone
it
in
doesn't
Earth was
really
completely
matter
wiped out.
how you're
I'm
going to
sure it
critique
must
it.
have
Like
seemed
there
that
are
way.
just times where
Well,
even if you don't
You can't expect Mother Sphere to know everything.
Then
know anything
there are
about
other
frame
sides
data
out
or whatever,
there,
and you're like, this
like you.
parry just feels off to me, then like that's just a valid
But
way
it's
to
rare to
feel when
see
playing
that.
games. Sometimes it just doesn't click
Earth
for you,
is
you know?
still
Yeah,
pretty
because like
inhospitable to
ultimately,
humans.
like the hopefully, if you're making a game, the way that you made a good feeling whatever is to understand what all those things are and why you did that. Otherwise, you're kind of just looking into a good feeling system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess
It's just-
that's really like when I look at something and I go, these pieces don't make sense to me. I then question what the design intent was, and then I'm less forgiving of the stuff that I think you're forgiving of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the crux of it, a lot of it is you're more focused on the system, and for me, I'm more focused on the difficulty. At least in this particular case, like I felt like the difficulty and the forgiveness of all of the systems in this game were really fun, and they were perfectly tuned for like where I want a game's difficulty to be, which for me is the weirdest spot. I know we've talked about this, but I'm like the guy who loves Elden Ring but thinks it's too hard. But then a lot of games that like people that are non-gamers would think are hard are like way too easy for me personally. Like
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you're in the classic where I'm at with too
We're here.
good to play Smash with friends, but if I
transportation
went to a
device?
local, I'd get stomped into the dirt so hard it's
Try
not even
activating this
funny,
monorail path.
kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's how my difficulty
There was no
preferences have
power.
always been, because like I grew up
No
playing
worries.
games,
Let's check the power
so
control room under
I
the
like
stairs.
have the dexterity and the understanding of games and stuff, but I also just don't have too much of a tolerance for a lot of games that I find just like
You have to
too
reorganize the
punishing
code
or
in
too
order to restore
difficult.
power.
So, yeah.
Oh god, I have to do a puzzle on stream. Oh my god,
Yeah, this puzzle sucks,
I'm
dude.
trying to talk to you.
This
The-
puzzle sucks. Even when I solved this puzzle, I was like, this doesn't make any
I
sense
don't
to
even
me.
think this is actually that hard. I just gotta like think about it a little bit, but I'm trying to talk to you.
I think just
Which is
oh wait,
not- which is
I
not
think
working.
I think it's 8613.
There
Is
we go.
that the
I got it.
solution? Oh, you did it.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah, it was the 3. Yeah.
I was like, how does this work again? And then
Yeah.
I
That's
did
great.
it. Yeah. All right. There
Yeah.
we go. You
Activating
can
the
puzzle
monorail
sometimes too.
panel again.
Yeah, so anyway, that's what I really liked about this game. I thought it was tough. I didn't think it was so tough that I needed to fight each boss 15 times. Which is great. The last couple bosses, I mean, the second to last boss took me quite a few tries
Something is
on
heading
normal
our way.
and new game
Don't
plus
worry,
hard,
there's
which is
some
cool.
on
Like I really did feel like I was learning and getting better, but
This ancient
she's
telecom
tough.
device is
Whatever
for
her name was.
transport.
I think.
All right, then.
I
After you.
think I died. All right, mild spoilers, I guess, if you care, for Stellar Blade, the video game that we've been talking about for the past hour now. Yeah,
And
once-
the spoiler band-aid is ripped off starting now.
Okay, yeah, it's done. It's over. There was a minor delay in what you just said, so I was like, oh wait, oh yeah, so the thing, yeah, that character that is on screen literally right now, we're like, oh, she's dead. She's not, and she's a boss in the middle of the game. That's the first one
Are you
that I
alright?
would call difficult.
Yeah, I
like,
agree.
By like any stretch.
Just remembering
She
something
killed me a
from
couple
yesterday.
times. The second to last boss, I think, got me right from the
City.
jump,
So
and then the
quiet.
next try I beat her.
So
Oh, it only
gruesome.
took you 2.
The
Wow.
last
That's
boss
what happens when a city becomes
beat
devoid
me
of humanity.
a couple of times because of phase 2.
What are you
We
going
did
to
the
do
same
when
last
you
boss because the
defeat
ending we
Alpha
picked.
Natiba?
Oh, I beat the last boss first try.
Oh really? Yeah, he
Yeah.
he beat me a couple of times, and that was like it. I think that was
Yeah.
my experience with the boss fight.
You
So
mean
I'm with you
The
on like
extinction of all Nativas?
never was like, oh
Right.
man, this one's
I
really
think that the point
rough
of your
kind of thing. It
existence
was
is to
always like,
snuff out
oh,
another species.
all right. You
The
know.
second to last one probably took
No
me.
fun in that.
Yeah, I think Raven took me 5 or 6. I think she was the toughest one for me the first time through.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I walked in, I didn't have a lot of health, and she like tapped me, and I fell over. And then
Yeah.
it wasn't an easy first try fight by any means. Like I
You
think
want
I
to
was
get off?
down through like most of my health and blah blah blah. But I think I did get it on that next attempt, and it was a good fun
Yeah.
fight. Yeah, to me the difficult fights, like the way that they are designed, I wish that most of this game, and this is again my preferences, if I were to meet Stellar Blade on its terms, if there was more stuff like that throughout the game, I would have enjoyed it more. Because I think the systems that it gives you, it asks more of you to use them and engage with them in that way, and that elevates my opinion of the game a lot. Whereas I think a lot of this, because you have so much stuff that can stomp a lot of this stuff so
Looks
hard
like this
into the
used to be a
dirt,
plaza.
that it ends up kind of feeling flimsy
You're right.
in a
Except
weird
it's
way.
underwater now.
Does that make
Yeah.
sense? You know?
It does. I didn't personally
Good thing
feel
is
that
you
way,
don't have to
but
go
again, I fall on the I prefer things a little bit
The Hall of
easier
Records is
in
that
general
way.
type of preference.
Yeah, yeah, and again, this is I think that one is less an actual critique of like the game and how it feels, and more of a I've played like in the way that you've played like a bazillion like Metroidvanias and other stuff. I've played like a bazillion other action game things, so I'm like I have like very specific like this one, you know. Once
Yeah.
you start to see like what all the games do and what you do and don't like and what they do and don't like, I really am just it's how do I break this goblin in my brain, Andy? This one does change how I play and look at certain video games, and I genuinely really do want to look at like this, maybe not this game specifically, but at least other games in stuff that I'm more familiar with, more the way that you do, where you're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna like you truly do try and meet everything on its own terms in a way that I have not found myself to be able to. So, you know,
Yeah, I think
it's
for
just an
me
easier way to enjoy stuff. Like
it is
straight up.
Yeah, I think for me, like, I don't know if I don't know. I try to be really open and try a lot of things, but I think for me, like, I just need the one hook, like whatever the one hook is. Like for me, it was like the combat and that first like boss encounter where I was like, this feels good. If I can get the one hook in me that makes me go,
As
oh,
I
this game
thought.
is really great. Let me like
It's locked.
let it sink into my heart.
The security
That
trouble with
allows
all
me to
them
be
legal
really
soldiers.
open about all of
We
the
have no
other
choice
stuff
but to
if I
search
have
them
the
all.
one hook. I don't need all of the hooks.
Let's
Now, if
go
I have
for
all
it
of
in
the
the square
hooks,
building.
then it
They
becomes
might
like
be
a
best
near
to stay
automata
away
and
from
it
the
becomes
water.
an all-timer. But I think
Looks like
for
there's
me, once I've
electricity
found the hook that I go, I'm just having fun now, then I can sort of like let the other stuff sink in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and here's the I kind of know what you mean. It's just this game doesn't do that for me, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Here's the
It was a jump?
hold on.
Oh, it's a purple. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, she gets her own judgment cut end.
That's pretty awesome.
So
Um,
I keep saying judgment cut end. We played Devil May Cry 5. That's the thing where Virgil does exactly that move, and he's done it since Devil May Cry 3. And people make jokes about how there are so many katana wielding ladies in every gacha game that they keep joking they're all Virgil's daughters. They all have white hair and they do the same move and blah blah blah. But, like it's not like it's all different companies and stuff. It's not real, but it's just like so. Yeah, here we go.
Amazing.
add another one. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like the bit and the move is cool, so we should keep doing it. So
yeah. So yeah, I don't know, man. I do try to be really open. Like I don't know, and I think
I think for me it's like I want to understand the pieces. One, that's who I am. I'm an engineer, so like that is what I do, and the systems thing also comes from like what pays my bills and my ability to understand that pays my bills, right? So like I am definitely wired to like want to do that, but I'm trying to do it more from the like I want to be able to understand why I like things so that it's easier to find other stuff that is like that I like. And not only that I like, but also to be like, hey, I experienced this thing that I didn't much care for, but it sounds like it would absolutely be your thing, right?
yeah.
Because I think the other part of talking about stuff is like I want to be able to have informed opinions on being able to recommend people stuff. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good puzzle.
I think for me, a lot of it too that I've learned, especially as we've talked, as we've talked about stuff, one thing I've learned about me is I actually think the number of video games that are like my thing that I would really like is actually like maybe an insanely huge number. It's more about when than it is what I like. You know what I mean?
Okay. I I definitely do hear you on that, and we probably, I know you and I talk about it all the time. We probably mentioned it on the show before, but the like the moods thing, and like, yeah, I can just not be in the mood to play a game, and then like in 3 months
really.
it's like, actually
Yesterday, I
it's my
just
favorite
happened
thing
to
in the
be
world
around the
now.
area.
Because
And
what
that's
we were
just how it
talking
is.
about a
Never
game
seen such a
recently
large game
where
before in operation.
I think
Why did you save me?
you were yelling at me about Dark Souls. Is that what it was? I think that's what it
I'm
was.
not really sure.
Was it? Was it Dark
You were like,
Souls?
Andy
Just
should
felt
play
right.
Dark Souls 1. And
Like
I
I
was
was
like,
meant to.
I'm just not that interested
It's
in
hard to
playing Dark
describe.
Souls 1. And you
It's
were like,
just
yeah, but you should
short,
play it
intense
anyway.
feeling.
Or you were like, oh, just because you're not interested in it means you can't play it. And I'm like, that's like exactly what it means. Now in a year, I might wake up one day
You're like, I want to play
and
Dark Souls
just
1.
yeah, and like, to my credit, I have done that. Have you seen me with
I mean,
Elden Ring? Like I just
yeah.
and I
Yeah.
try to be really open, especially this game's a good example because like I played the demo. It's not a great example because the demo was kind of garbage, but like there are games where like I'll play a demo for a game or I'll try it and I'll be like, I don't know, this game, something's rubbing me the wrong way about it. And then like 2 years later, I might try the demo and be like, this is 1,000,000% my life now. I love it. And I just try to be really open in that way that like, just because I didn't like something or I really did love something doesn't mean I'm going to feel that way forever, you know?
Yeah, and that's, I guess that's kind of what I'm trying to piece together is like how much of, I've always
Just what you'd
tried,
expect from a
I guess,
pro.
which is, this is a weird thing to say out loud, and that's part of why I'm glad that we're talking about it, even if it has to be live on the internet on top of it, is like the like, I'm losing my thought because I said reading the video game. Darn it. What was the last thing you said? I'm sorry.
About how I just try to be open
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
that I might change my mind about something later.
Yeah, I guess it's, I'm trying to like understand, because like emotional proximity, unfortunately, like no matter what it is, right? Emotional proximity to something, whether it's important or it's not important, is always going to impact our decision making, blah, 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 et cetera, right? And I think that it goes for entertainment, but I don't think about it that way for whatever reason. You know, like I don't ever do that. I don't ever go like, oh yeah, that point in my life when I was sad is probably why I liked all this really sad stuff. You know, like
Oh yeah.
until
That's
like
interesting.
way after the fact. It's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. You know?
Oh yeah, no. I remember finishing Persona 5
How about
and
you try
having a conversation with two people, one of whom loved Persona 5. It's like his favorite thing in the whole universe, and someone else who had never played Persona 5. And she was like, I don't know, like, and she was a gamer, so she was into games. She's like, I don't know, I've never tried it and whatever. And I remember just telling her point blank, like,
nothing?
if you're
Just talking to
depressed, you should
myself.
play Persona 5. It'll totally be the perfect thing for your whole life. And she's like, oh, I'm not like super depressed. I'm in a good place right now. And I was like, great, then don't worry about it. But like, I knew in that moment, like right after finishing Persona 5, like I think a lot of the reason I like that is because of like where I'm at right now emotionally with all of these things and like these big shifts in my life and whatever. And so I don't know. I don't know. I try to maintain that in general is like, I don't feel like playing it. Like, here's a good example. We got Pokopia for my wife. I mean, it was kind of for me too, but like, it's absolutely changing her life because that's her favorite kind of game, is a game like Pokopia. And I was like, I might get really into this like over the summer, but right now I just don't feel like playing a game like this. And that's just where I'm at,
Yep.
It's where I'm at.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, and it's really the like, maybe I should just, how much more can I try and just like give into it rather than maybe fight against it, whether or not I realize I am fighting against it, because it feels like I must be, right? I must be fighting against that urge or desire to just like
Maybe.
let it happen. Enter the passcode. I wasn't paying attention. Should I know what this
It's
passcode is?
It's the clock. I think it's like 12:26 or something. It's like whatever time is on the Big Ben clock.
be really funny if you were right on the
I
first
need
try.
a 4-digit password.
That'd be amazing if it was.
Another headache.
It's so 25.
Okay.
I was
This
close.
That's really funny.
Could this be connected to the clock tower?
Yeah, I had a feeling I was
That's
close.
so funny that you remember. I think it's funny that you added a minute.
Yeah. It's amazing. No, but I think maybe for me, I think for me, I don't know if it's that you're fighting against it, but I think for me, video games is kind of that space for me. Like, and you know this about me already. You're gonna probably lose it laughing, but like for music, that's not me. Like, I am not the guy who's like, I can get into whatever music is on the radio right now. I am very picky with like music that I'm gonna really love. But for me, like that's video. Shut up.
And Andy, the pickiest music individual I've ever met in my entire life, and probably ever will meet in my entire life. Hey, Andy,
But,
why do you like this one? I mean, you know.
Right, but similarly, there's no like rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing. It's kind of.
I just like
it's
I
just-
like what I like.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of a beautiful way of like going about doing it, and like, I don't want to say I'm like jealous. It's just different, right? I just like.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like that's so interesting how you're just like, yeah, I don't know. And also the specific overlap that we do have on that thought. I don't remember what prompted it. But you were like, hey, so you also listen to Alien by Strapping Young Lad when you're having either like a really bad time or like a really good day, right? And I was like, yeah. Because that's like
Yes.
the emotional proximity thing. I'm like, so I
the
definitely get it, but it's like
Your ways to
your
be.
primary vehicle. Whereas for me, it's like it'll happen, but not all the time, you know, if that makes sense.
Well, with music, it's not my primary vehicle. With music, it's my synesthesia. I think that's like, I don't know if that's
okay.
related. Yeah, I don't know if that's related to my weird taste or if the synesthesia is like a result. Like, I just have weird taste anyway, but.
I mean, it's definitely involved and it's definitely impacting things. I'm with you on the, like, I don't know, chicken or egg, like which side of it it's coming from. Did it change your taste or does it, or did it like shape your taste or, you know, yeah, you know what I'm saying. You already said it. So,
Yeah. I do. But I think part of it is like, and not to get too spiritual, philosophical, but like, we're all just like big bags of jelly that like we resonate with stuff or we don't resonate with stuff. And that's like as much as like being critical and doing what we do, which is like talking about why we like things is like fun and interesting to do. At the end of the day, like I know as much about why I like things as my 6-month-old baby does. Like we just things hit us and we go like, that's cool, I like that one, or we go like, I don't like that one as much, and like then we justify it afterwards. But that's really the root of anything that we like or enjoy or resonate with. It's like it either resonates with us or it doesn't. That's my humble way of looking at it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. To me, like, I guess so. Let me reframe it to you in a way of like why that's so fascinating to me. That makes me wonder why you enjoy talking about this stuff with me at all.
Because it's fun.
Yeah, but like I guess if it's like a oh, it's all completely unknowable. Like I guess what piece of it? Like I'm not saying that there's no point to doing it, right? Unless you can know it and understand it, right? I'm not that robotic or on the spectrum. I promise.
Yeah.
Definitely a little bit, but but not quite that far, right? I guess it's I still it's not. I don't know why you talk about it with me at all. Why are we broadcasting it to the internet? And why do we talk about it for hours and then decided that those hours could also be dedicated to simultaneously broadcasting it to the internet, you know? And again, not a critique, just genuinely a like, I just don't fully grasp it. If it's, because to me, it would be like, oh, that's not actually that interesting to you, if that's how you feel about it. Because it's just like, it's kind of whatever.
Here's
Oh, it's the code to the power control
my
room.
part. Here's my part A answer. Hold on, let me check in with my wife. Make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, do
Two
that.
things.
Check
It
in with
smells
your
like
wife.
man
That's
back
important.
here.
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Okay. Second, did you give her medicine this morning?
I texted you back. I forgot to.
Yeah.
It shouldn't smell like man anywhere in this house. I'm one of the three of us.
Yeah, it smells like man.
Really?
Nothing's happening.
That's weird.
Yeah. Maybe the sheets need to be changed or something.
There
Yeah,
wasn't
probably.
much before.
Okay.
The system was put through a reset when the
So-
power was cut off. I'll have to verify the credentials.
Bye.
I don't remember what we were talking about.
I do. No, I remember. You were asking why do we talk about it
Oh,
in
yeah,
the first
yeah.
place then?
At length,
Okay.
the way we do. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, and I have two answers. Part A is I don't know because I'm just a jelly blob who just responds to the world and I don't know why I do anything. It either resonates with me or it doesn't. Okay, so that's part
He has
A.
no
That's
mouth
the
and
joke.
no scream, except he does have a mouth, and that's why we have a podcast now.
Yeah. So part A is the joke answer is I don't none of us know why we like doing anything we do. We just do it. That's part A is the kind of okay, but part B is
Look around the Victory Monument first.
part B I think is just because I mean it's fun to examine is just kind of the underlying thing, and for different people it's different things. Like for some people that's like sports or it's movies or it's music or whatever. I do think we just like to examine and dissect things, but I think more importantly for me, like I think talking to other people is sort of the point. Like I have a whole handful of friends that like I get on the phone with and like all we talk about is like video games or stuff we like or stuff that came out that's interesting. I think it's sort of a bridge to other people fundamentally is just like
But
half
look
the reason
around the
anyway.
Victory
You know what I
Monument
mean?
first.
Yeah, all you are and all you, or, what is it?
These stairs lead to the power control room.
All you think and all you see is all you will ever be, is the line. Something like that.
Sure,
We are
of
our
course.
connections. Something like that.
Sure. But I mean, I don't know.
It looks like the fusion
It's true.
cell is dead.
Sometimes I think about this a lot
Wait, I'm sensing another fusion cell around
It's
here.
all you touch.
because
and
I
all you
have
see.
kids that I teach that like
Experience.
they like video games. And
Yeah.
what are you quoting? Limp Bizkit, probably.
Not Limp Bizkit. I'm pretty sure it's Pink Floyd.
Yeah, you act
Limp
okay.
Bizkit, as we all know, Fred Durst, poet of the age, generational lyricist, Fred Durst. Who I'm gonna throw up. Oh my god.
I knew that one was gonna get you.
I can't. All the lyrics that I want to quote in our interest of trying to keep this podcast clean, I can't say. God. Oh
Just
man.
one of those days, buddy.
It's just one of those days. Yeah.
But I think it's sort of like it's cyclical. It's like that's half the point. That's like half the reason I like playing video games is because I get to talk about them with other people and I get to listen to people talk about why they're interesting on other podcasts and whatever. That's like half of the point, you know? It's
Yeah.
like
Do we just all need to admit to each other that the only reason anybody does things is because we want to do it with other people?
yeah, I mean, right. It's true though.
I know I'm not. Yeah, that was not a joke. Like it seems like
Yeah.
it was a joke, and maybe is 10% in delivery a joke. But like, wouldn't all the like most unhappy people in the entire world who decide to take it out on the rest of us and ruin society, all just be happier and fine if they admitted that they just wanted to do stuff with other people?
God, I feel like he says it a lot on his Pete Holmes says it a lot on his podcast, but like just about anything we do is just an excuse to spend time with other people.
Absolutely.
No, all we have
That's
to do
all it
find
is.
the
Yeah.
hyperdrive.
Yeah.
If you're somehow listening to this right now, you're like weirdly parasocially spending time with us. You know,
Yeah.
that's what it is. Like, is it weird? Sure, I guess, but like that's what's happening.
Yeah, honestly, I mean that's like half of the reason I got a huge video game and character themed tattoo. And that's why I think like media and video games and all these things are like valuable to me is I mean I also like them a lot, but I think the real reason that they've always been valuable to me is because like that's like what me and my wife will do. Like we'll sit on the couch together, and she'll play a game and I'll watch, or we'll both be playing games with each other, and that's like the whole. It's like the whole point. Spend time with your friends, everybody. That's
Yeah.
the moral of this
Spend time
episode.
with your friends. Talk to people. The man who spends too much time in his apartment by himself says, "Don't do as I do. Do as I say." Listen to Andy. He's right. I'm working on it. It's part of why I do this. It's why I'm glad that you called me and we talk about stuff. You're like, what if we just did the podcast? I'm like, yeah. That'll force me to have social interactions that I already enjoy and I just don't do because my brain's wired against me to want to like seek out those opportunities on my own for some reason. Why?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have no idea what that was.
But you know, even when you think you don't enjoy spending time with other people, usually you just do for a little bit. You're like, oh,
Mankind's past was buried
well, that was
in the
dumb.
final war.
Of course I'm enjoying spending time with other people.
This must
Yeah, I
be
do
a
have to say
different
because
from
of my job and the type of people I'm around, I'm a little bit forced to spend more time with people. Not forced, that's not a good way to put it, but like just inherently through my life, like especially now that I have a baby and stuff, it's like I'm kind of constantly around people, probably around people more than if it was up to me to
Great.
choose
You
100% of
accomplished
the
our first
time.
objective.
But I think I've always been grateful for that, and I think weirdly I've become
Let's go before the emergency power runs out.
like kind of, I don't want to say extroverted, but I've become like hugely more social than I was 10 years ago, just kind of because
Well,
of my life. Is this boring for everybody?
I hope not, because this is kind of just all we
Oh,
ever
I
really
know so.
talk about. You know? Well, I mean, I'm with you on like
This is
the
going to
split
do a lot
in
of
like
good.
wondering if I feel more extroverted or not, and then realizing it's like,
Thank
okay,
you.
well, if I was more extroverted, I would go more places and do things.
Okay.
It's I am still clearly exhausted by all of those things on a long enough timeline, but I am also more willing to engage
Of
with those
course.
things that
It isn't
exhaust me,
far.
I guess, is
Yeah.
kind of where how I think about it. It's like, oh yeah, even though like I know that I'm gonna have to pay whatever cost it is, it's like I am more okay with what that cost is than I ever have been in my life. And that's just how I operate. It's like, all right, cool, I can work with that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I think. Yeah, I don't know. I'm with you though. It's good to go out and talk to people. It's funny because as much as we like do this, I'm pretty like averse to like this sort of communication, at least a lot of the time. Like I'm definitely the guy that like when 2020 was happening and it's like, let's play Mario Kart over Discord because like that's all we can do, right? As soon as that ended and I could see my friends in person and it was like, let's play Mario Kart over Discord, I'd be like, no, come to my house and play Mario Kart, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it digitally. And maybe part of that thought is like more I think about kids who are like in high school or something and like all they do is communicate with people on Discord. I don't think it's bad to communicate with people on Discord, but I think I've just learned as I've gotten older the value of spending time with another person in the same room is like irreplaceable.
Oh yeah, I agree. And the reason, I think the main reason why I do this, you know, I still don't play multiplayer games the same way that I did during COVID. But the thing is, almost all the stuff that I was doing over Discord and like why you and I are doing this via Discord right now rather than in person is because of the distance. Most of those people don't actually live close to me.
Yeah.
So that's part of why it is that I am more engaged with that, because a huge amount of the people that I do that with, they just don't live around me, or even the ones that do, our schedules are offset. Like I got a friend, he works nights. I got a couple friends who work nights for doing one thing or another. So we don't talk as often and stuff because they're sleeping when I'm awake and I'm sleeping when they're awake a lot of the time, you know? So
Right.
it's hard just because that's kind of where I said emotional proximity before, but this are also like availability is its own form of proximity too, you know?
Yeah.
So that pushes a lot of it, and that's where I know in my heart with my whole chest everything you're saying is true, and that's why one day maybe I'll end up moving somewhere, because yeah, I am fully at the point I'm like, yeah, you know, I would love to talk about these games this way, but it would be cooler if I was actually sitting next to the person doing it. You know, so
Yeah.
You know, I've got some scheduled hangs and stuff coming up soon that I want to for myself. But yeah, it's
What was that just
yeah.
now?
I don't know how we got from Stellar Blade to be good to yourself and communicate with other people, but
It's rare, so make sure to hold
do
on to
that.
it if you
You
come
know.
Gradually. Yeah, it's never a bad message to. It's
Yeah.
never a bad message
It should always be the message on this
to
podcast, really.
relay.
But you know, yeah.
Yeah, I think another part of it too, back to your like, why do we do this? Is I do think you and I, unless we're having a conversation about something particularly interesting, I'm not really drawn to talk about games except for games that I like. I think that's another big reason we do it as well, is we like to talk about stuff we like, and you know,
It just
I mean,
happens
except
to be
with
games in this case.
well, yeah, but like I would never be like, let's do an episode on, I don't know, Dead Space 2 or something. I'd be like, I don't care. Like, I don't want to talk about it. You know?
Oh yeah, yeah. Dead Space 2 is such a good game. It's so funny you said that game specifically. Dead Space 2
I don't
is
even-
so good. It's
I don't
such
even
a
know-
good game, and it's a
I don't
horror
even know
game, and it's
what
not for
game it is.
you, and you're not interested in playing it because it's a game that's not for you, and it would never be on this podcast. But it is a game that I love a lot. I played a lot
come
of Dead
quite
Space
far.
2. But yeah, I mean, I'm with
How
you
much more
on
do you
yeah.
have to go?
It's about we are all a
Just
bunch
have
of
to
Venn
pass that
diagrams of
sewage
interests,
facility.
and we try and find as much
There must be a
overlap
way to
as we
get
can with
across.
as many other Venn diagrams in a
We can
lot of
build
stuff,
ourselves a
you know.
bridge if we use that
Yeah.
I also there's also a something I here we go. Oh, we're really going off the rails now. In that trying to figure out how to be more of a person with a personality than just the things that you like. Oops. That feels like partially a millennial curse, maybe a millennial male curse. I've definitely struggled with that before.
You think so?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't think I struggle with that because I think, I don't know. I don't talk to, like, I have friends who I talk about video games with, but that's not like usually what I'm talking about to most people. I feel like most people I'm talking to, it's not about things that I like on the day to day.
Yeah, I think there's also just my own social anxieties and blah 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 that all the stuff we were talking about how I figured out that maybe I'm more extrovert than I thought I was. It's like no, I actually just like gave social interactions a more earnest try than I ever had.
Adam,
You know, like
Yeah.
I have a
like to
question.
not to not give myself any credit, but it's just like no, you got to look at it for what it is. In
If
that
it's
respect, it's like
sustained with
oh,
records until
okay.
now,
So I think a
It must
bunch
be
of
a
it is the
huge source of
easiest way
energy.
to do that for a lot of
Yes.
people initially while you're figuring
Even
that out
compared to
is,
a fusion
oh, well,
cell.
you find common interests.
then
But some people never
where are you
move
planning
from the
to
common
use
interest
this
part.
energy?
It's just like,
Oh, well,
just that,
it's kind
like,
of a long
you know,
story.
this would be the podcast where, like,
But
and
I
Andy
can
and I
explain
both
more
like
when you
Stellar
come back.
Blade, and that's what we have in common.
Understood.
You
Andy?
know?
Yeah. I think a lot of it isn't even millennial because I see it with younger generations too. I think we just hit a point in society where I think media just got a whole lot stickier than it used to be.
That's
is my theory.
probably that. Well, here's the thing. It's not probably true. That's definitely true.
Yeah.
I guess I just don't know how much of it is Tumblr enhancement. Oh, there's more Tumblr enhancements. Why? Wait, why wouldn't they just keep the level going up?
What do you mean?
Oh, recovery enhancement. It's not. This was. I have more Estus Flash. This is my Estus Flash heals more. I see.
Yes.
Understood. That's
Yes.
crazy that you don't get that till New Game Plus.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
know,
only
right?
reason why I was so surprised by that. That's not what I was expecting.
Yep.
Okay. Huh. Anyway. Moving
yeah.
on.
Yeah. But yeah, I think part of it, I was thinking about this recently. I think like back in the 1950s or whatever, it's like people probably talked about the stuff they liked, but it just wasn't as omnipresent, and I think things weren't as sticky.
There
Whereas
is power.
like now everything like video games, movies, YouTube, whatever, it's omnipresent
We need an
and
ID
it's
card
very
if we want
sticky.
to operate it.
Yeah, this is where we can kind of
Three,
come back around to
actually.
the consumerism, lack of third places
If the
thing
ID
that we've
cards are
brought
needed
up
for the crane, then they
numerous
should go
times.
nearby.
I think all of those
I'll look
pieces
for
are
the
kind
closest
of
one first.
feeding into the same thing. I don't know if that makes sense to you. It makes sense to me at least.
Okay.
Um,
Take your time.
yeah, I think so.
You know, we don't have a place to go to figure out what it is that we like. I have the people I know at school and a Discord call. So what do we talk about? The TV show that's on that we all like. You know, and some people just never figure out how to evolve from that. So I think I kind of this is really to bolster your points. Everything is set up now to make more of those people. You know, because there are fewer options that would put you into a room to talk about a thing in a more meaningful way about something other than whatever topic you hopped on the call for. You know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess.
It's the lift that goes to the upper floors.
Guess
Need power
maybe
to make it
it's.
move.
I don't know. I think with younger people, they probably don't feel that as much because at least school kind of is still like the third space
Yeah.
for people.
And they can't use their phones there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go America.
Well, yeah.
It's look.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Don't get me. I was gonna say, don't get me started on the kids and the phones because I will get started. I do love. I do love on Pete Holmes's new special. I did think of you, which is on YouTube, by the way. It's not like anywhere
We could operate.
weird. You could just watch his new special on YouTube now. But he does talk about how like we're all miserable, and he's like, and I'm pretty sure it's because of our phones. I feel like we've known this for a long time. It's because of these rectangles that we have in our pocket that we pull out of our pocket, and it makes us sad. And he goes, we look at it what 30,000 times a day.
Yeah.
I was like, yep.
Yeah, I reflexively reach over at it, even if it's just to check the time, because it's also the device that tells me every single piece of information I ever need to know ever that's important. So I'm always inundated with the good and the bad, and it's not my choice anymore. Yeah, we might have messed up. We might.
Not me, buddy. My
might
kid
have messed up.
he doesn't have a cell phone yet.
Well, yeah. Yeah, no, I think I'm glad there's at least some vanguard of millennial parents who are like, oh yeah, the screens are bad, because all the ones who aren't like that are like, I'm going to fry my child as hard as I can for as long as I can, so that they will never ever have any chance of like developing their brain appropriately.
It's only millennials because the older parents.
They were
They
already
don't-
like, no, that's a bad idea.
No. No, the opposite. A little bit older. Parents who are a little bit older than millennials, I want to say like ones that are maybe in their 40s, like 40s or 50s, they don't understand the technology because they didn't grow up with it. So they just are like, oh, I'll get my kid an iPhone because that's just like the trendy. Like, obviously, if you're like a middle class parent, you have to buy your 10-year-old an iPhone because that's what you do if you can afford it. They didn't realize how bad it is because they didn't grow up with it and they don't know anything about iPhones.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
It's this weird pocket I've noticed is like I've definitely known people I work with who, God, I'll never forget. I remember when I was like 25 or 26, and this teacher I worked with who was like maybe 43 telling me about how her son who's in 6th grade like saw some like horrifying stuff on Snapchat and like Instagram messages, and I was like,
Why
chick,
does your kid have a phone? Yeah.
yeah. But like again, she was like 43. She didn't really know because she probably didn't get a smartphone until she was like 33 and probably doesn't even know what Snapchat is. So yeah, anyway,
Here's the thing. You and I are like about as young as millennials can get, and we're now in our 30s. I didn't have a smartphone until partway through college.
yeah.
So like
Well,
my frontal lobe
upright
wasn't
buildings,
quite fully developed,
romantic flora and
but
But you
like,
were on the
people.
you know,
That's it. You have no imagination.
internet as young as like 12 or
Then
whatever.
again,
oh
But
yeah,
but
I
you
was
were on the
internet
internet
for
younger.
a long time. Yeah. But also,
Yeah, that's
the internet was
Imagine
different back then,
bustling
though,
streets,
which is I
Yes.
think also
clean
part
air,
of the
and people
yeah.
smiling everywhere you look.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Like we were young enough that we like experienced stuff on the internet, but we weren't like smartphones weren't what they are now. But we know what they are now because we like, they changed
Well, we got to watch all the dominoes fall.
with us.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will say in my experience, there is a pocket of people exactly our age that are like the only ones who understand how bad the technology is because we remember the before times, but we also grew up with it.
Yes. Yes.
This game has pretty good level design.
You know what's really funny? We dropped a spoiler thing like 35 minutes ago. I said one thing about a character that dies on screen in the stream, and then we didn't say a single other thing, even about the world. Not one. Like the apocalypse happened already. I read here, we're gonna talk about how the game doesn't even try and hide its twist at all. I read on this stream multiple text things that are like, Mother Sphere is bad. Don't trust it. It's definitely evil for sure. Like definitely. And we're not even out of like the intro area. And then it's later on. It's like, oh, Mother Sphere's bad. It's like, are you? That's why when people make Nier comparisons, like Nier is good because it takes you on an emotional journey that is wildly believable, and it intersperses it with a thing about robots and things that you wouldn't expect to go through all that stuff. This game looks you in the eye and tells you the plot of the game, and you have to watch as all the characters fail to figure it out for like 18 hours.
Yes.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. So yeah, don't make any plot comparisons. The stuff that fundamentally happens is like beat for beat, like it's fine. It's like interesting, it's cool. The designs of stuff is cool. But like the presentation is literally like if you don't figure out the twist before it happens, just don't pay attention to any story ever. You are a lost cause. You are incapable of figuring out how plot works, if that's the case.
Are we calling the twist the very end? Because I don't think I figured out the very end.
Well, I mean, no, just overall, it's just like, oh, Naytibas are people and Mother Sphere is bad. Like, that's, like, people are having, like, revelations in the 11th hour of the game around this stuff that is, like, written in plain text in the first hour.
Yeah, I mean, we knew the people were gone. I didn't actually realize they were Naytibas, but I knew they were, like, gone.
I played for about 35 minutes and went, okay, all these are people.
Yeah, you did. You did actually that. Here's the thing, though. I'm with you. Like, it is confusing, and I think it's a translation error, but, like, you literally read stuff. You, like, read stuff, and they're like, yeah, humanity's gone. And then at one point, Eve is like, oh, but we're all robots? And it's like, I thought we knew that. Like, thought we knew that in the first hour.
And because the translation and the voice acting is, like, they're trying, but, like, I think they were genuinely just not given, like the localization of this game could have used some work, I think, is part of it. I think part of it is also kind of weak writing, but the issue with the whole, like, that, because, like, if the thing that you just said was, like, written well, it could actually be played as a, like, we've been saying this thing that the audience thinks is this word the whole time, but means something different to the people, and the reveal to the audience later on is that actually when people have been saying this, they mean this other thing. And, like, that would be well written. This game doesn't do that. It just makes you think that everyone's stupid because they are. Because they're incapable of putting together 2 and 2 at any point in the entire game.
And that's fine. I don't care because I had fun, so I don't really care.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Don't play this game for, like, the plot. Play it because, like, the design and the stuff in the world is cool and you think the action is good. But yeah, like the actual plot, like it treats both you and the people in the story like complete morons, and it's just that's what I have to say about the plot of this game.
Yeah, I think the plot. I think really the appeal for it feels wrong to say that this is the appeal of the plot because it's not really the plot, but I think that the stuff that does unfold and the stuff that happens has a lot of great spectacle to it, and I think it's, like, worth seeing more than it is interesting.
Here's the thing. I am 1,000% fine with rule of cool taking over of like if everything that you just set up was for an excuse for this sick thing to happen, I'm like, yeah, all right,
Yeah.
I'm on board. You know, it's mostly weird in like So I think the reason why it really doesn't bother me in this game at all is I also never get the feeling that it's trying to be taken super seriously in like a high art kind of way that I think a lot of other stuff is, you know, where like it
This
presents
game-
it and it's very like, no, you're supposed to really feel the emotion on this, and if you don't, then you're bad and wrong. Actually, it's like, no, I just think that your art wasn't particularly effective. Like this game just kind of does stuff, and that's fine, and I can live with that.
Yeah.
You know.
On the spectrum of God of War to God of War 2018, in terms of just trying to be a fun video game versus trying to be some high art story, it's definitely much closer to God of War. And I also think for me, that's just my preference. That's what I prefer.
Yeah, you know, I think it's what an interesting.
What a great spectrum I just set up right now.
Well, kind of because, I mean, that's really, I mean, the conversation that I'd love to have is really more about God of War than it is about Celebrate. But like, what you just said was the original trilogy's like that still was a AAA game trying to tell a story that wasn't really told in video games before, right? It's just that times have changed, and the idea of what that is now. Well, a video game also has to have like single shot Oscar bait camera cinematography. And
Yeah,
blah,
right.
blah, blah.
It's
And like, okay, I mean, if you want to do that, like, it just needs to have like a really good story, right? And I'm glad that this game didn't try and do that because it doesn't have a really good story. And it would have been really infuriating to be like, I can't believe this game really wants me to take this seriously. You know?
right. Yeah. Whereas, like, you know, the old way used to be, we're going to make a great game with a great story. And now it's like, we're going to make a great game that's masquerading as a movie.
I'm gonna remove the word "great" from story in the last thing you said. Video games, to this day,
Well, I just mean
still
in
don't
what they're
really have-
trying to do.
Yeah. The intent of what it is they're trying to achieve. Yes.
Yeah.
We're not going for this high art thing. Kratos is gonna go do this thing, and then by the end of the story, he's gonna do that. And yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I like those games.
But they're definitely trying to, like, in trying to appeal to everybody, they're trying to be more like movies in some case. Maybe not more like movies than video games. I think in some cases more like movies and video games, but they're sort of trying to package themselves like movies to be taken more seriously, as opposed to saying, like, let's make a great game.
Yeah, I don't understand why, and it's probably because video games are still relatively new in the grand scheme of things. Maybe that's really what it is. Like as an art form, but yeah, coming back to I don't play a video game because I wanted to watch a movie. I came to play a game to play a game. So why is it that in order for video games to be taken seriously, we have to just make them a movie? You know?
Yeah.
Because on the flip side, it's Fortnite, which is just Ready Player One, but in real life now.
Yeah.
You know, so like, I don't know. It feels like we should just like do things that only video games do, which is why next episode we're going to talk about a game that does some stuff only video games can do.
Tetris Effect.
Yep, that's what the namesake of the podcast, as previously mentioned.
Like a 2-hour callback, buddy.
The next episode, there's a new logo. It's just the podcast is called Tetris Effect. We never talk about Tetris ever again.
We get sued by Tetris.
We probably would. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure even like the
I think
Tetronymos are like copyrighted or something like that. So
probably.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. All right, well, this has been Stellar Blade.
yeah, don't play it for the plot. Play it for the the action. The action. The action. It's pretty good at that. It might not be exactly to your taste in the way that it is, but even if it's not to your taste, it was still fun to play. And I think that's actually a pretty glowing review of how good a bunch of this stuff feels. Is that even though it's not for me, I did appreciate it and have a good time regardless, you know?
I loved it. I'm going to play it again at some point before I die.
I mean, I might play it again before I die. I'm probably not going to play it again anytime soon. I'm gonna play Tetris Effect for the podcast. You know?
Just hit end on the stream, for God's sake. Put these poor people out of their misery. Just end this.